show?
When we start to create a show, the starting point is, what have we not done? So none of the acts in Alegria have any relation whatsoever to do with Saltimbanco. And Saltimbanco was a big step for Cirque, but it still retains more of a circus feel and an urban feel. I think generally the feel of Saltimbanco is an urban feel. Because of where the creators of Cirque Du Soleil came from, they were street performers. They were street performers who didn't even have enough money to stay in a hotel. They slept in the back of their transit van on their tent. They call it a big top, it was a small tent. That was their bedding. I mean, these people were street performers. So obviously it's an incredible success story over the last 25 years to what it is now. But Alegria was a big step away from that. And that's why it's really become the signature of the Cirque du Soleil shows, and I think why has been so successful, and why when you work at Cirque du Soleil Montreal, as I do, I really feel this responsibility that I'm in charge of Alegria. There's all the touring shows and there's Alegria. And as we were in Montreal at Christmas this year for 2 weeks at the Bell Centre, that message was brought home really clearly. Everybody who works in the studio has had something to do with the creation of Alegria. And I understand why, because I work on the show, and people who come to see the show will understand why. It is such a beautiful show, and you know, being in charge of a show where I know that every single person in the audience is going to be touched, it's an incredible feeling. And even with more than 30 years in the industry, I'm still incredibly proud and of what we do and what we produce in Alegria.